Hello everyone. So it's a new day and CoinMonk is here with another set of latest updates. So let's quickly get started with some major headlines of the day. SEC failed to locate the BitConnect founder convicted in a 2.4 billion scam. Canadian court freezes up to 20 million in crypto to Freedom Convoy. Bitcoin breaches 43,000 mark. US requests crypto exchanges to avoid Russians running away from sanctions. So without any further ado, let's start with our refresh feed. Firstly, we have a very interesting coverage yet quite fishy. Apparently, the BitConnect founder, who was sued for illegally raising funds and defrauding Americans, seems to be on a run. The Securities Exchange Commission stated in a court statement on Monday that Kumbhani's whereabouts are unknown. Kumbhani's last known whereabouts, according to SEC, was in his home in India. But he has been missing since the prompter of his BitConnect Ponzi scheme was charged by the SEC with defrauding American investors of over 2 billion. The SEC stated in its statement that the convicted founder has most likely fled to another country and that Kumbhani's location remains unknown, and the commission is unable to determine when, if at all, its attempt to locate him will be successful. Wire fraud running an unregistered money transmitting company, the three conspiracy have been filed against the founder. Wire fraud, commodities price manipulation, and international money laundering. The DOJ also accused Kumbhani for creating false market demand to entice additional investors. The project, like many others, turned out to be a Ponzi scheme. Thanks to Hoopla, and several projects are already convicted and facing their jail time in Australia and United States. Talking of funds, yesterday by securing a Mariva injunction, the Court of Ontario in Canada has seized millions of dollars and cryptocurrencies belonging to the organizers of the Freedom Convoy rally in Ottawa. Let's have a close look at the situation. According to experts, this is the first time Canada has employed a seldom used legal instrument to combat cryptocurrency. Patrick King, Tamara Lynch, Christopher Gra, Nicholas St. Louis, and Benjamin Ditcher, as well as NGO Freedom 2020 Human Rights and Freedom, are among those whose money have been frozen by Mariva. Meanwhile, the relevant banks, financial companies, crowdfunding, and cryptocurrency platforms, as well as those who maintain Bitcoin wallets, were mentioned. The relevant assets have been frozen by TD Canada Trust, Adopt a Truck, GoFundMe Inc., Bull Bitcoin, and Tallycoin, and others. Well, a lot of downtown citizens have faced losses due to this. Now, let's see how it turns out to be. Moving on. Bitcoin has been in the news for the last few hours. And why not? It has regained its foothold after falling below its symbolic price of $40,000. The reason, as it goes unsaid, is the Russia-Ukraine invasion. It has now reached the $43,000 mark and it is briefly above 44,000. Now let's have a closer look at the situation. According to CoinMarketCap, the leading cryptocurrency rose 12.73% in the previous 24 hours to $43,440 during the intraday trade. Fear, doubt, and uncertainty has crippled the market prior to this price increase, as negative sentiment among traders has reached a 16-month high. A market research firm, Sentiment, explained that the overall attitude about Bitcoin has dropped to its lowest level since October 2020. Furthermore, BTC finally rates are heavily skewed against shorts. This amount of fear looks to be already pushing up prices. The previous high levels of fear, uncertainty, and doubt had a key role in the BTC market's recent rally. Furthermore, Bitcoin has been in great demand as seen by the $20 million in cryptocurrency donations to Ukraine. Binance Exchange, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, recently announced a $10 million donation to fund humanitarian and aid operations in the country. According to some market analysts, the Bitcoin liquidation is completely insignificant and that this is a demand situation and not a tight squeeze. Speaking of Russia and Ukraine, let's quickly have a look at the final segment of today. According to Bloomberg, the US is allegedly trying to encourage major crypto exchanges to make sure that there is no utilization of cryptocurrency by any Russian. Let's have a closer look at this. According to people familiar with the situation, Biden's administration, including the Treasury Department and the White House National Security Council, is in talks with the leading crypto exchanges like Binance, FTX, and Coinbase, asking them to thwart any attempts to the sidestep and the stiff restriction imposed by US and its allies after Russia invaded Ukraine last week. According to the report, and according to a White House official, the US administration is aggressively attempting to combat any exploitation of digital assets in order to evade sanctions. The Binance representative answered that the business has identified the person sanctioned, but that they are not going to ban all Russian wallets. So we'll round off our analysis for today and see you tomorrow with even more exciting content. In the meantime, if you have any suggestions or opinion, you can drop them in the comment section. You can also join our Telegram channel for the latest crypto updates. For instructions, reviews and tutorials, you may visit our blog, which is linked below. Also, do subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day ahead.